Hero for the first time on this show, Will Hall. Will, congratulations. Now the head coach at Southern Miss. You said in your introductory press conference today that this is a job that you have wanted for a long time. I feel like I always ask this when I talk to a coach that takes a new job. Why was this the right job at this particular time?
Well, you know, like I said, people have documented that I've always wanted it, and that is true. Just the time that I grew up, you know, in Mississippi, Coach Bauer had this thing rolling, and man, you know, y'all know I grew up in Amory. We were black and gold. Southern Miss is black and gold. There was just always kind of some affection there with all that, and then coming up through the ranks the D2 way, I just always felt like this is a job that you could really win at, and you could win with kids that I like to be around. You know, you could win with Mississippi kids, Alabama kids, Southeast Louisiana kids, Panhandle, Florida. That's where I've always recruited. That's where I've built my programs, where I've been. I just felt like the path that I've been on to get to this point caused me to have so many connections in the areas that has made Southern Miss great forever. And I think as far as timing right now, you know, I like to come into programs that have everything that you need to win, but they maybe haven't been quite winning like they should. I think we're at that point here. And I think the alignment from Dr. Bennett all the way to Jeremy, to me, and where we want to take this university as a whole. I'm a guy that understands how much football matters in the South, and I'm a guy that wants to help and wants to drive Dr. Bennett's mission. I just understand that if we can win football games, it's going to make it so much easier to do that.
Well, unless I've forgotten, I don't think you and I have ever actually met each other. You know, jealousy's not a great emotion, but if I rewind to, about 1998, I probably had a little bit of it. I was, I don't know, an hour and 15 minutes from you growing up in Oxford, playing quarterback at Oxford High School, but everybody kept writing about this guy, Will Hall, that was lighting up the record books for his dad at Amory. Take me back to Amory, Mississippi, and what stands out for you kind of in your formative years, growing up around a dominant high school football program, being around the field house, ultimately kind of rising to that, the quarterback and the leader of the program, and how that may have set you on this path?
Yeah, you know, it was just awesome growing up around Dad, seeing him do those things at Amory and Louisville. And, you know, when it became apparent that I was going to play quarterback at a young age, you know, I just always embraced that role and leadership. And then playing quarterback at Amory, man, I tell people all the time, there's no greater pressure in the world than being the starting quarterback at Amory High School for your dad. I think we went 86-8 during that run there in the 90s from 93 to 99. It was just an unbelievable run with 3 state titles. We won 37 games in a row at one point. So, long story short, we had gone 15-0 in 95 and 15-0 in 94, 15-0 in 95. Then we went 10-1 in 96 and got left out of the playoffs. That's back when only 2 teams went in, and there was a 3-way tie between Shannon and Ripley and us. Shannon won it all, but we actually beat Shannon that year. So then 97, I become the starting quarterback, and we go 11-3. And you would have thought the world was ending at Amory. I mean, I was the quarterback. We go 11-3, and you know, just felt like a failure. And you know, I'm Coach Hall's son, and it was just a bad deal, but something you had to work through, right? And it made me a lot who I am. And the next year we come back, we go 15-0 again, and lead the state and scored, and just kind of a fairy tale year. And but man, it really prepared me growing up in Amory with all that pressure and all that to do what I've done as a coach.
It occurs to me that you've had some pretty significant Bobbies in your life. Obviously, Bobby Hall, your dad, Bobby Ray Franklin at Northwest, Bobby Wallace at North Alabama. I don't know if Ricky Bobby had a role with you, but certainly you've had some guys that have been, I would assume, awfully good teachers for you as you've grown to this point of your career.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Bobby Wallace, working for him, was my first big break in coaching. I got to be his offensive coordinator at 28 years old, and just learned so much from him. He's such a winner. And then to work for Willie Fritz, that was my second big break. These last 2 years working for him at Tulane, again, just a winner and a man's man, has built programs everywhere he's been. And then as a player, to play for my dad, who's second winningest coach, in Mississippi history, and then to play for Coach Franklin at Northwest, who won all those championships, and then Mark Hudspeth at North Alabama, who won and won big. So been blessed to be around a lot of winners that do it a lot of different ways, and seen all that and seen how they did it at different levels and different areas, and been able to take a little bit from all of them, to construct my style, if you will.
Yeah, and I actually would like to talk a little bit about your style. I think about Willie Fritz making the transition to Tulane, and it was, a triple option offense that evolved, and obviously the run principles were very, very evident at Tulane, but you guys threw the ball some as well. But in your background, whether it's going back to when you were playing quarterback or kind of moving along the way, you've seen a lot of different things. How do you describe your philosophy? I know you talked about balance and that not meaning running a certain amount and throwing a certain amount, but if we're just sitting down talking ball, and I say, what's your philosophy offensively? How do you describe that?
Yeah, so we want to establish the run game, and then we want to create explosive plays in the pass game. I think that's what wins championships, is being able to run the ball and then being explosive in the passing game. It doesn't matter what level you're at. That is what puts rings on your fingers. So we want to be able to do that. Now, we've had years where we threw it a whole lot. We've had years where we ran it a whole lot. At Tulane, coming into this thing, everybody was like, he's a run-the-ball coach. Well, at Tulane, I inherited a program that had been running option out of the gun. So we were transitioning to throw the ball more and more, as you see, through the 2 years, and we did. But we had to win games. We had to win games with kids that were recruited to run option out of the gun. So, we had a freshman quarterback there that just got freshman of the week in the conference. And, what you're going to see here at Southern Miss, we've got a team that has a lot of really good wide receivers and has some good young backs. And so I think you'll see early on us throw it around a little more than what we did at Tulane, but we've got to build it around our quarterback and what he can do. And so we've got a few here that can do some things. And we're planning on bringing in some more to create some competition. And but one thing that I've always been is really good on offense. We've been really efficient. We broke school records everywhere I've been. And I think Southern Miss fans can get excited to know that that's going to happen. We'll have a really big toolbox. It's an NFL-based scheme that plays with tempo. So we'll be able to construct it around the talent that we have.
Will Hall visiting with us on Sports Talk Mississippi. He's the new head football coach at Southern Miss. Only a couple of minutes left. Certainly will look forward to visiting with you more as we get down the line. And I know you've got a ton on your plate right now, so I appreciate the time. In terms of recruiting and attacking this thing, you got, 9 days until the early signing period begins. What's your sales pitch on really short notice to guys in trying to kind of lay the foundation for the program?
Well, the worst thing you can ever do is bring someone into your program that's not the right fit. So what we don't want to do is panic and make a knee-jerk decision. We want to recruit kids that we already knew a lot about, and kids that have been here before, because we want it to be the right decision for Southern Miss, but we want it to also be the right decision for that kid and his family. Well, the good thing on that is the areas that I've been recruiting in my past are areas that are in the Southern Miss footprint. So I already know a lot about a lot of local kids that are nearby, and most of those kids have been to campus before. So we think we're going to be able to recruit the right kind of kids to fit the program in a short amount of time without making mistakes. Because I'm telling you, man, the worst thing you can do is bring a kid in that's not the right fit. Then everybody's unhappy, and you're kind of stuck with each other. It'd be like marrying the wrong woman. You definitely don't want to do that, because then you're just stuck with each other.
You'd like to only do that one time if at all possible. I am curious how you'll evaluate the transfer portal and how active you think you will be in that part of the market, if you will.
Yeah, so, with transfers, we want to build this thing with high school kids that want to be at Southern Miss. Transfers need to be on a need-based deal. Let's be honest, if a kid's in a transfer portal, he's in there, they could say for all these other reasons, and some of them there are special case scenarios. But the main reason they're in that transfer portal is because they're not playing or they're not happy. And usually if they're not happy, it's because they're not playing as much as they want to. So if you're going to take a transfer, he needs to be in a situation where he's going to play. It needs to be at a position where you need an older guy and the transfer needs to be a guy that you think is an upgrade on your roster. Because if you bring a transfer in and he doesn't play a whole lot, you're just bringing a problem in because he's already left another place because he wasn't playing. So it's not going to be good. So you got to be right on those guys too.
Interesting perspective. Will, certainly appreciate your time. Couldn't be any happier for you and your family, and also for Southern Miss. And look forward to visiting with you again in the near future. Congratulations,
man. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you for helping me sell Southern Miss. All the Southern Miss fans out there, I hope you're getting excited about where we're fixing to go with this program and how we're going to do it to get there. And anybody that's on the fence about being a Southern Miss program and you're a Mississippi person, get on board with us because we're fixing to do this thing right and make you happy.
He's selling already. Will Hall, new head coach at Southern Miss. Thanks, Will. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, man. Look forward to talking to you guys again.
That's Will Hall. Obviously excited about this new